Okay, welcome back to Random City Sports Ballers. We're back for another fantasy football draft. This is another $50 league. It's my second pay league draft of the year, and we got third pick again, number 3. So that's really going to help. That means that we're getting, well, one of these top 3 guys, because I'm not going below Tyreek Hill. I'm not going to dig any deeper than that in here. I don't see any good reason to. A lot of folks might go, hey, I'm on Ross St. Brown, but I'm still looking at CeeDee Lamb and Tyreek Hill, both excellent options. I love either one of those as my starting spot for this draft. You know, build a team around that. That'd be great. What if I can accidentally get Christian McCaffrey? That'd be amazing. Okay, but what I've got to do, since the last draft was also pick 3, I've got to make sure the rule is followed. You got to follow rules. And I can't let the team look the same. All right? As much as I love Baltimore with Derrick Henry in Baltimore, that seems unfair. I don't know, man. I mean, Derrick Henry is amazing, has been for a long time. But I may have to skip out on him, maybe take Travis Etienne. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like when we get to that second round pick. What about Devonta Adams and Joe Mixon? Can I get both of them again? Should I get both of them, or should I make it look different? Yeah, I might try something other than Devonta Adams, but I really like Joe Mixon in Houston. David Njoku at tight end. I may go after... See, this may be one of those ones where I go after a premium tight end in that third round. Because there's a very good chance that Sam Laporta will be sitting there, Travis Kelce. Maybe I will take a premium tight end. I don't know. We'll see how it's going. James Cook, man, Devonta Smith, excuse me. These are both great guys, and I'd love to have either one of them repeat on my team here. But, again, I can't let the team look the same, so I'll have to mix it up. McLaurin, Jared Goff. Yeah, I'll probably pick someone other than Jared Goff. I'll probably take someone other than Brock Purdy. Jerome Ford, yes, I've got one team here I'm taking a chance on him with. Jamison Williams, Rico Dowdle, you know, these are taking a chance. Evan McPherson is a kicker, and kickers do kicker things, so I just pick a kicker. And, of course, the Dallas Cowboys. Man, I really like having them because they are such a good defense. They led the league in points again last year for Yahoo's default settings in their pay leagues. So, I mean, why wouldn't I go after something like that? Or Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore is another good one. But, so I've got to make sure that this team does not look the same as the team I've already drafted. We're 2 minutes from this draft getting underway. That does feel like forever when you're sitting here waiting for it to happen. I love draft day. You know, I'm sure you guys love draft day too. And I know this is an early draft, so early. But I like doing some early low pay, you know, it's $50 is one of the lower ends. Some of you might want to go after a $5, $20, you know, but I like the $50 leagues because, well, I've got the money in my wallet in Yahoo Sports to spend because of last year's fantasy sports. So, you know, the goal is, remember what my goal is. I started with just 300 last year. And I built it, and then now I'm working on building it in fantasy baseball. You can see I've got, if you look over there, I have 10 out of 13 teams in the playoffs right now. So that's doing great, right? And then, of course, this year's fantasy football. So the goal is to continue building this up until I can start entering $1,000 leagues. So playing in $5 leagues for me is going to take me a long time to attain that goal. I'll be having 50 teams in a season. So in order to reach the goal that I'm working towards, to keep using the money that I started with and building, get to the $1,000 leagues, I've got to play in the pricier leagues. So $50 is going to be my minimum this year for fantasy football. I've already signed up for a $100 league that drafts in July. So I don't know if I'm going to do something. That's July 14th, I believe, for that one. I don't know if I'm going to do any more drafts in between now and then. Oh, we're about to get underway. Because it's a long time till the season. But here we go. Who's the first round pick? Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey. Yep. All right. Now, who are you giving me for a wide receiver? They're giving me Tyreek Hill. And I will, of course, take Tyreek Hill. Thank you very much. Okay. That worked out different already, guys. I'm actually kind of glad I didn't take the CeeDee Lamb route this time. I'm happy that they forced me into Tyreek Hill, because that makes it look different already, and I can feel good about taking Derrick Henry in the second round if he's there. I just see a positive role for Derrick Henry in Baltimore. Now, that age slowing down may happen. I don't know. Derrick Henry is something, isn't he? So I'm not afraid to take him again. All right, so after that went Bijan Robinson from Atlanta, and then Breece Hall from the New York Jets. And then Jamar Chase, who never seems to quite live up to first-round hype. Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I love Detroit, guys. I absolutely love the Lions. Always have. I've been a Lions fan since I was born up in Flint, Michigan. So I have been a Lions fan, Tigers fan, Pistons fan, Detroit Red Wings fan, the Detroit Shock, if you know who they are. You know, Michigan State Spartans is my college, though. Go Sparty. But man, I love what the Lions are doing right now. Dan Campbell, God bless you for coming to Detroit and doing all of this, my friend. Anyways, okay, so the Breece Hall thing. You know, a lot of this hinges on Aaron Rodgers with these New York Jets players, right? Just want to make sure everybody's aware of that. You know, you're placing your bets on Aaron Rodgers being a driving force in like Garrett Wilson here, being the 11th overall expected pick. I guess maybe 12th, but he'll go soon. So remember, you need Aaron Rodgers to perform too. Yes, he's a Hall of Famer. He's also, I think he's 41 this year, so be careful. There's Jonathan Taylor from Indianapolis, and Saquon Barkley now in Philadelphia. Justin Jefferson made it all the way down to 10. And then Jahmyr Gibbs went with number 11. That's not a bad back-to-back picks right there. Of course, I am biased with Detroit. And I do not get Derrick Henry because he went 12th. That's unfortunate. Well, maybe these fellas are going to go ahead and maybe they'll let Garrett Wilson get to me. By the way, I don't want Garrett Wilson. Had him last year. What did he do for me last year? He did what he did for you. Over 1,000 yards, sure. 3 touchdowns, yay. So I'm not touching that. But, man, Derrick Henry went 12th. Such is the way with fantasy sports drafts. People get a flavor for somebody, and this guy has got Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry as his first and second pick. So he's going with some monster running backs. Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. My. He's, oh man. Okay, so A.J. Brown just went with a 13th pick. It's reasonable. A.J. Brown, great numbers last year. Did not expect that out of him. I don't know if I expect it this year either. I mean, that was something, wasn't it? But then who's going to make up that space? Is Jalen Hurts just going to throw fewer touchdowns? Who's going to throw them to Goddard? Smith? I mean, I don't know. Saquon Barkley, he might take up a bunch of those touchdowns. There's a lot of... So it's a good team all around. This is a very good team, this Philadelphia. All right, Garrett Wilson went with 14th. A little later than I expected, but he's still up there, early second round. He better produce pretty well for you to be able to say that pick paid off. You know, you're saying he's going to be one of the top 10 wide receivers. Well, that's a lot to ask. Where are we at with, what are we going, Puka next? Kyron Williams? I don't think, you know, the Marvin Harrison Jr. thing, it's hard for me to take. Okay, it was Kyron Williams went with the pick number 15, and then there went Etienne. So great. Now there goes my guy. That's my guy. Where's my guy? And there went Puka Nacua. So that makes this pick difficult, man. They've left me with scraps. They absolutely left me with scraps. My. Mike Evans is always having good years, isn't he? So, that's my WR2 is Mike Evans. But anyways, on the Marvin Harrison Jr. thing, he's a rookie. Guys, rookie wide receivers, Puka over here making me a liar, but I don't draft rookie wide receivers this early ever. Okay? I suppose last year you may have been psychic and known someone was going to go off, just absolutely go off on the league. But rookie wide receivers typically finish, in the top 25 at best. Every once in a while, one breaks out. So you're putting a lot of faith in Marvin Harrison Jr. here for an unproven guy in Arizona. I don't know. That's a lot to ask, right? I think it is. But wow, this team definitely looking different. Tyreek Hill and Mike Evans as my first two picks. And I had talked about the zero running back thing, and the draft, sure enough, dictated that I'm looking at possibly zero running back. But yeah, Devonta Adams. Whoo boy. Man, Las Vegas has been, the last couple of years, it's just been hurtful to him to be there. It's almost like they hate him. Hey, we're going to do nothing this year. For what he normally would do, let's take a look at his stats last year. What did he do? 213.9 points. He had 1,144 yards on 103 catches with 8 touchdowns. That's down production for Devonta Adams, guys. Is that indicative of his age, maybe? I don't know. But it tells me that those are still top 15 numbers. That's right. Yeah, that's definitely a top 15 guy. So remember that. But, all right, so they took Pacheco, and I am going to go with an elite tight end in Sam Laporta. I got one of my Lions, fellas. I got one of my Lions. Bringing me joy over here. But the running backs, right? I know a lot of folks, going with this, and I don't know how long you're supposed to wait for a running back until you go, okay, that was my zero RB. Is it 4th round, 5th round, 6th round? To me, it's when you don't make your focus on RBs. Because let's look at what's coming up on running backs. Okay, so after Laporta was Harrison Jr., Achane, and Josh Jacobs. But let's look at the running backs available. Rachaad White, Joe Mixon, James Cook, David Montgomery, Walker, Kamara, Aaron Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, Zamir White, James Conner, Najee Harris, Raheem Mostert, DeAndre Swift, Zach Moss come up much later. There's Tony Pollard. If I take him, I'm taking Spears. There's Nick Chubb. If I take him, I'm taking Jerome Ford. There's a lot going on here. All right, so after Josh Jacobs went Drake London, Atlanta wide receiver. You can expect some better production out of Drake London, I personally think, this year. With Kirk Cousins there, I think that improves everybody on the team. But also coming back from injury. Hello, my cat's up on the chair now. Cats and my dogs are out here just chilling with me while I do my draft. Joe Mixon, okay, no longer available to me. That's fine. There's plenty of other guys. Look at these guys. Hello, Cupcake. It's good to see you too. Deebo Samuel went with the 29th pick. Wild, isn't it? You watch Samuel and Ayuk. There goes Rachaad White. Ayuk's going to go, wow, they're the same guy, okay? Ayuk and Samuel are putting up basically the same numbers each year. So, wait on either one of them. Whichever one goes later, that's who you wait for, I suppose. What do we got? We'll have some players available to me that nothing real exciting out here. Is there a way to double? Okay, there goes Chris Olave after Rashad White. Nico Collins, I could have him, but that's 3 wide receivers early. So if I'm doing that, I would prefer to take a quarterback in here. Look at Laporta already securing up the best tight end in the league. And I've got my Detroit Lion. Mahomes, Jackson, Hurts are all sitting right here. Mahomes, Jackson, and Hurts. Wow. And then, you're looking at maybe James Cook. I don't know about Montgomery. Maybe Walker. James Cook is the best of all those, isn't he? All right, so Jalen Hurts just went. He's off my... All right. So Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, one of them gets back here. Mahomes had a down year, but look at Jackson having another good year. And if I can't get either one of these guys because it doesn't make sense, I'm looking at Jordan Love somewhere around 7th or 8th round. All right, so no Kenneth Walker for me. He just went with the 33rd pick. All right, this is my 4th pick. I normally get disappointed in what my running backs look like with this type of draft. There went James Cook. But tell you what, you can make things happen here, okay? You got to reach. You're going to have to make some long arm stretches happen here. So make sure you do your stretching before this all happens, fellas. Look at here. Alvin Kamara last year. David Montgomery last year. Aaron Jones, wow, what a poor year last year. But I'm also looking at Stevenson here, who, what about Zamir White? Or, well, James Conner. We talk about players getting old. Well, then some of them getting real old. Raheem Mostert. Can he repeat that touchdown production? I just don't know. That was something, fellas. All right, so after James Cook was Brandon Ayuk. Let's get back over here. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Interesting, right? What does he have on his team so far? He's got a quarterback. What does he have on his team so far? He needs a quarterback. So, if I decide I'm waiting on quarterback, and I want to, maybe I do take a Raheem Mostert. I can guarantee that I'm either getting Mahomes or Lamar Jackson because one of these two guys between me already has a quarterback. And he just took... Wait, there went Mahomes. Crap, I didn't think about the guy in front of me. Cooper Kupp, Patrick Mahomes. All right, well... Ain't nobody taking Raheem Mostert this early. That is not happening. Who am I looking at here? Guys, this Lamar Jackson spot would look pretty darn sweet. That's going to look pretty darn sweet, isn't it? So we've got an elite quarterback, an elite tight end, 2 elite wide receivers. Fellas, this running back game has got to be strong for me, and this is where I'm going to have to play it coming up now. Who are the running backs available? Montgomery, Kamara, Aaron Jones, Ramondre Stevenson. Of those 4, I would prefer Stevenson. Montgomery, that was a lot of touchdowns. And I think Jahmyr Gibbs takes over a lot of Montgomery's role this year, although they're going to play a committee. Kamara, another good year, getting up there in age. Aaron Jones, wow, that was a horrible year. I just don't know if I trust it. Was that his fault? Was that the fault of the offensive coordinator? All right, so after I took Jackson, went Waddle, DJ Moore, and Amari Cooper. Okay, so as I said, of these 4, man, I could probably still get him and Montgomery. So I'm going to go ahead and take Montgomery. They're going to play that committee. What else are we looking at? We got a long ways for our pick again, so let's look at all players. And around my pick will be some fellas that I don't need so I can play that running back game a little bit more, right? So that's what we'll do with our next couple of picks. All right, after Montgomery went Nico Collins from Houston. That's a good pick. That's a solid wide receiver right there. Had him on my championship team last year. And then Anthony Richardson and C.J. Stroud. Yeah, young quarterbacks, both of them great. We don't know how Richardson's going to play after that injury season. Stroud, we know exactly what he is. My. Now he's got Stephon Diggs over there, too. Joe Mixon. Team just improved. So, C.J. Stroud should do nothing but go up in the numbers. In fact, how good was he last year? I mean, seriously. What did he end up doing? He had 4,100 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, and ran for 3 touchdowns. How many games was that? Crap, he sat out a couple of games, right? No, I don't remember how many games he sat out. Not important. But he's a dynamo. Michael Pittman, great year, 1,100 yards. I'm surprised by the lack of touchdowns, aren't you? But in a half PPR league like the Yahoo Leagues, this is a good guy to have. Where are we at? There went Dalton Kincaid. Okay, another rookie last year that had a pretty darn good year. Shows a lot of promise. In fact, last year he only had 113 points, but let's remember, he was not the starter the whole year. He came in, but he showed a lot of potential. So I can understand someone going after him. Stephon Diggs leaving Buffalo, going to Houston. C.J. Stroud's going to be throwing somewhere, fellas. He's going to be throwing somewhere. Nico Collins and Tank Dell. This is an interesting offense, isn't it? All right, so after Kincaid went Pittman and then Kamara. So the second part of my running back game, let's see what we got. Yeah, Ramondre Stevenson gets back to me, and that's who it is. But that's a lot to ask for. That is a lot to ask for, fellas. Shoo. I'll tell you this. Whoever took A-Chan from Miami needs to be taking Mostert from Miami. For that to pay off, well, I wish I had Jahmyr Gibbs to go with David Montgomery. That was a good play last year. If you had them both, how nice was that? All right, so with 50th pick went Pickens, and then 51st, T. Higgins. So he went back-to-back wide receivers right there. A couple of WR2s. Trey McBride, tight end from Arizona, should have improved numbers this year too. Another one where, he saw great play last year at the end of the season, and it's only going to get better this year because he's the guy now, right? He's the starter. Somebody take Stephon Diggs just to honor him for the future Hall of Famerness that he's got going on. We all get it. The ball's got to go to some other folks. But he's still Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs. He's going to go out there being Stephon Diggs every single game. Don't be surprised to see him put up 200 fantasy points down there in Houston. Do not be surprised. All right, there goes Kyler Murray, Arizona quarterback. And Mark Andrews. Don't you people make me take Stephon Diggs. I'll have 3 wide receivers then. Don't you make me do it. Taking Mark Andrews from Baltimore. When's the last time he played a whole season? Anybody? Somebody please tell me. Look that up and find out. Because I'm genuinely curious. When was the last time Mark Andrews played a full season? And there went Stephon Diggs. They almost made me take Stephon Diggs, guys. There goes Devonta Smith. And I guess I'm up next. They took Aaron Jones, so that gives me Ramondre Stevenson. Played out exactly as I was hoping. All right, we got Montgomery and Stevenson in there. And now I can take my pick on what this number 3 is going to be over here, my flex position. Let's look at what wide receivers are available. Keenan Allen, Zay Flowers, Malik Neighbors, Tank Dell, McLaurin, Allen, Kirk, Hollywood Brown, Jaden Reed. Wow, love to have Jaden Reed. Let's look at what running backs are available. And Zamir White, Najee Harris, Raheem Mostert. I wonder what's with the prediction of such a drop in points. I mean, are they saying he's just going to drop to no touchdowns or something? They're saying he's going to drop to 7. He's going to drop from 18 to 7. I mean, he is like 32. There went James Conner, 59th, right after my Stevenson pick. DeAndre Swift in Chicago is not a terrible idea. And you can wait on some of these other folks. What were we talking about with wide receivers? Zay Flowers, really? Malik Neighbors, rookie. Tank Dell got hurt. McLaurin does McLaurin things. Keenan Allen, just always being Keenan Allen out there somewhere. What the heck do you take here for your flex? What do you take? Interesting. Which of these guys do I think has the best potential for an up season? Oh, there went Hollywood Brown, Zay Flowers, George Kittle after James Conner. You know what? I'm going to make it look like I have Keenan Allen in there. Look, guys, get off my back. He's Keenan Allen, all right? There, I've got Keenan Allen in my flex. I'm happy with that. Got a long time before it gets back around to me. All right. Fellas, let's take a look at this team that I got so far. We're going to go to teams. We will go to my team, Random City Sports Ballers. This is number 3. And we'll just take a look here. Have a look. I've got to get my cat some food, so I'm going to be over here in the corner for just a second. But elite quarterback, am I right? There went Zamir White and Malik Neighbors. There you go. Excuse me. Okay, where were we? Yeah, still Zamir White, Malik Neighbors, and anyways, this is looking good to me over here. I've got my starting lineup with the exception of defense and all that. But let's look at all players from this point and see what's coming up. McLaurin, Kirk, Harris, Mostert's going to still be available. Wow, these quarterbacks are just great, aren't they? But I'm looking at Jaden Reed, too. Okay. There went Christian Kirk. So we're deep into the WR2s now. And I honestly, I think Keenan Allen this year is a high-end WR3, low-end WR2, okay? I don't know how much I believe the projected 170 from him, because I feel like Keenan Allen's just better than that. And I think Keenan Allen's going to go to Chicago and prove that he's just better than that. And, well, yeah, Chicago's not exactly a pass-first offense, but, you know, Keenan Allen isn't exactly I'm going to sit down and watch you guys not pass me the ball kind of wide receiver. All right, so after that, we had Neighbors, Chubb, Burrow, Kirk, Swift, Harris, Jordan Love. Okay, we had a 7th round Jordan Love. Kind of glad that I went ahead and took Lamar Jackson now. I feel good about Jordan Love. I do. But, man, it's been hard to get him because you have to make that 7th round investment. Okay, so where are we at up here? Tank Dell, Raheem Mostert, Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, Calvin Ridley. These are the next available guys. Terry McLaurin went after Jordan Love. Najee Harris went with number 70. I see that all the time, right around there. You know, 6th and 7th round, that's where you see Najee Harris go. Jaylen Warren, I don't know if he's going to take over. I just don't know. Let's see. There went Mostert, so I don't have to think about him anymore. Zach Moss, yeah, he's Zach Moss. Jalen Warren, right? Brian Robinson, oh my. Lions and Tigers and Bears, oh my. Tank Dell went with the 74th pick. So we look at running backs. Brian Rump, Tony Pollard. If I take Tony Pollard, I'm taking Tyjae Spears. That's just a fact, fellas. What is the most beneficial player to me? 3 wide receivers, 2 RB2s. Yeah, these guys are not elite. They are not elite. So Tank Dell, 74. I'm 78th, so I have a good chance at just about any of these guys here. Wide receivers, I like Jaden Reed so much. Okay, there goes Zach Moss. And Kyle Pitts. You're not going to see me drafting Kyle Pitts, fellas. I have certain biases, and Kyle Pitts is one of them. Boy, am I biased against that fella. Kyle Pitts. But, you know, Kirk Cousins might just be that perfect piece of the puzzle to give Kyle Pitts those numbers that everybody is hoping he finally puts up. All right, there went Brian Robinson, so I'm going to take Jaden Reed. Yep, that's a fine one. What am I looking at with bye weeks? Looking pretty good on bye weeks. Pretty mixed up. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, my WR4 is Jaden Reed. That's helping me a lot. Go back to all players. Yeah, a lot of people would say I took that early. I don't think so. I think that's about right. Dak Prescott with the 79th pick. And now I'm grasping at running back straws. You know how hard this part of the draft is when you've gone 0 RB at that early stage? I mean, my first running back was David Montgomery, fellas. So it's hard to try to find those gems. Now, for me, I'm going to queue up some guys that I'm going to have an eye on. If I'm taking Tony Pollard, I'm taking Tyjae Spears. Okay. Let's see. Singletary will be the guy in New York, but, you know, Elliott, Eckler, Edwards, Brooks, Brown, Blake Corum's another one I can think about later. Jerome Ford's another one to think about later. You know, there's a lot here still, guys. Okay. We had Prescott, then Adunze, and McConkey. Yeah. And there went Singletary. So, let's take a look. All right, I'm going to start out taking Jalen Warren because he could easily take over that job in Pittsburgh. And then I got a long way to get back to me, don't I? And with those ones, look at the Pollard and Spears staring at me. That'd be an interesting back-to-back pick. But that would also give me 5 running backs to 4 wide receivers. That's not bad. You know, I've got elite wide receivers. You know, Hill, Evans, Keenan Allen, Jaden Reed. And so I'm grasping at that lightning in a bottle running back. And Pollard is gone now. Okay, so it went Ingram, Godwin, Ferguson, Dallas tight end, Pollard, and David Njoku. I have him in that other league, and I believe in Njoku this year as well. You know, he showed a lot of talent, didn't he? And a kicker off to Justin Tucker. Goodbye, Justin Tucker. It was a pleasure knowing you. Because I'm not drafting a kicker in the 9th, 10th round. All right, so back to this. I am on bench. Yeah, that's what I'm filling in. Filling in bench. I got 4 bench positions left. I need at least 1 more running back. And this has to be a decent running back with a chance at putting up numbers. So after Tucker, Went Calvin Ridley and Austin Eckler. But yeah, I need to have decent running back who has a chance at numbers. Is that guy Javonte Williams? Is it Ezekiel Elliott? Is it Spears? Is it Edwards? Is it Brooks? You know, who is it? And what about, who was it? Okay, there goes Austin Eckler. Then San Francisco's defense. Who was it that Cleveland grabbed someone just in case Nick Chubb is a long time from returning? Who was it that they grabbed from? D'Onta Foreman? Is that right? I don't know. That might be right. So there goes Gus Edwards. And Johnson. Is that Deontay Johnson? Yeah, in Carolina. I don't know. Okay, well, we're late in the draft. You take choices. You know, you're on your bench. Gus Edwards went with the 94th pick. Gus Edwards. Didn't they also take J.K. Dobbins for the Chargers? Didn't they get both of those guys? Is that right? Where is some J.K. Dobbins, Chargers as well? It's wild, isn't it? And there went the Jets defense. Guys, you know how I feel about the Dallas defense. I don't mind when my team looks the same at defense. There goes Brooks, Carolina running back, because the defense is 11 people. You know, that's a system. Whereas a player is one player. Dang it. Oh, you took my Dallas. Well, that puts me waiting on that position. So, who's a running back who could do a thing? Let's take a look at running backs here. Chase Brown. Chase Brown. Interesting thought, isn't it? But I can wait on that. Javonte Williams. Come on, fellas. I think he's reached his peak with that season he had last year. Blake Corum, if Kyron Williams is injured, maybe. Got to grab somebody, though. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and grab... Do I want to grab Spears? No, I'll grab Javonte Williams. I think he's peaked, but, you know, his bye week is 14, so I'm going to be able to throw him in here during these other bye week. Well, not for Stevenson, but I've got bye weeks covered in that position that way, and he is the guy in Denver, so... And what more do you need? Okay. It's available at quarterback. Maybe I'll take a backup quarterback here. How much would I like to have Brock Purdy as my backup quarterback? That'd be pretty sweet. Okay, so, after that went Daniels, the Washington quarterback, young fella. And then Chase Brown, we were just talking about with Cincinnati. Yeah, Brock Purdy. That'd be a kind of cool one to have a backup quarterback of, because I got my bench is filling out nice. I always take a backup quarterback, and I always want my backup quarterback to be a quality quarterback. And round 11 is a fine time to take a backup quarterback. I promise you. But, so, what else do we do here? I can't think of anything else that makes sense. Defense and kicker can wait now that the elite ones are gone. I mean, well, except for one thing. Let's take a look at defenses. There's one of the elite defenses left. You know, there's just the one left, fellas. All right, yep, round 11, we're taking Baltimore. It's better than a backup quarterback, I'll promise you that. Because it's an elite defense, guys. Last year, the only team that had more points than them was Dallas. So, and how long has Baltimore been a great defense for fantasy purposes? Come on. There went Blake Corum in the 11th round. Cool pick. Cool pick. Brock Purdy. Someone else got a backup quarterback. Sean's astonishing team. I want to take a look at their team. Sean's astonishing team. He's got Stroud, and he's backed up by Purdy, fellas. Wait, that's not. Wait. Well, who took Purdy? What did I miss there? Oh, 50.6 took Purdy. 50.6. Here we go. He's got Richardson and Brock Purdy. So, okay, yeah. With Richardson, he needed a backup quarterback. Where are we at? Okay. Missed some picks there. It was okay. Okay, the Brown, Worthy. Damn it, stop scrolling down. We got Purdy, Corum, Spears, Watson, Elliott, Goddard, Hawkinson, Addison, Ford. Hawkinson, Addison, Ford. I wasn't going to take Ford again. You know, I don't want to put too much faith in one player ever. Huh. What we got here for my next round? There went Miller, the backup running back in New Orleans. Okay. Zach Charbonnet. Interesting here. Huh. Khalil Herbert. Don't know how much playing time he'll have. Antonio Gibson, same thing. Tyler Algier, how much is he sharing? Okay, Rashad, no. Let's just look at running backs. I'm going to take a solid look at running backs. Charbonnet, Chandler, Herbert, Gibson, Algier, Hubbard, Lloyd, Dowdle, Vidal, McLaughlin. Interesting. Damian Pierce is actually still in Houston. Okay, well there went Rashee Rice with the 115th pick. And well, maybe. Oh, look, there's Dalvin Cook. Deonta Foreman, right? That could be a hidden gem. Okay, so all players. Tua as my backup quarterback or Jared Goff as my backup quarterback? Let's look at the bye week for Jackson. It's 14, it's 6, it's 5. I know some of you are going nuts saying, why are you taking a backup quarterback? Well, I'm taking a backup quarterback because I always take a backup quarterback. And you know what? It's a Detroit thing. Well, yeah, it's a Detroit thing. I'm taking Goff. I have him as a backup quarterback in my other league, so I'll have him here too, and it'll be fine. It's going to work out fine. Going to work out fine. If I keep telling myself that, it'll be real. All right, so it was Butker, Hopkins, and then I took Goff. And what do I take next? Let's see. I got another 2 bench positions and a kicker I need. But at this point, look at kickers. They're just kickers. Look at them all sitting here being kickers. He's a kicker, he's a kicker, he's a kicker, he's a kicker. Wouldn't you like to be a kicker too? Everybody needs a freaking kicker. But they're all the same guy at this point, you know? There's just nobody that stands out as elite. So I'll probably just grab McPherson again. And what else should we grab? I took some Jameson Williams in the last draft. Won't be doing it again because that's just... it's a bit much. Since I went 0 RB and I have such great wide receivers, I think I need to just focus on running backs. How many bench positions? I got 2 bench positions left. I need to try to catch lightning in a bottle, fellas. That's going to be hard to do. It's going to be hard to do. Who is lightning in a bottle? Is it J.K. Dobbins? Is it Gus Edwards? Is it A.J. Dillon? I mean, who else is down here? All right, well, we've got to make a move on somebody here soon. I do think I want to take a chance on some J.K. Dobbins right here. You know, because this is, guys, this is a position that is basically throwing it away here soon. I'll take a kicker on the way back, and then I'll take D'Onta Foreman just in case he takes over that Cleveland job temporarily. You know, who else do you take? You know, you count on maybe an injury? You count on someone being better in camp? We're not there yet. We don't know what's going to happen with these, so I can make a lot of moves still. And these guys, these late picks, this is my last bench position. These are my last 2 bench positions. These are fluid, okay? These are the guys that get cut first, you know? I'm just trying to take the chances on seeing what I can get. Catch that lightning in a bottle. And you hope. You hope. Last year, one of them I grabbed, I think like 9th or 10th round all the time, was David Montgomery. This year, took him much earlier because I was focused on, oh, man. 0 RB scares me. But you gotta flood your team with running backs late in the draft. It's the only option you have. To just hope. See, like this guy's taking Lloyd from Green Bay and Vidal from the Chargers, and Rico Dowdle, and Zach Charbonnet, and Khalil Herbert, and there went Lloyd and Vidal, and then Lockett. So, but these wide receivers are gonna really pay off. Where else do we get and look? I mean, I don't have anywhere else to look. So, let's queue up kickers. I feel fine about Evan McPherson. You know, it's a kicker. You want Fairbairn? Fine, take him. You want Moody? Fine, take him. You want Sanders out of Miami because your favorite team is Miami? Fine, take him. You know, what's changing? You want Dicker? Take him. You want Gay? Take him. You want Myers? Take him. You want Santos? Take him. I don't care. It's a damn kicker. Unless you get one of the elite guys, the Tucker and Aubrey, who cares? But anyways, we had Tyler Bass go. Wow, we had a lot of Dalton Schultz, Tyler Bass, and then Cortland Sutton. I don't know. It's Cortland Sutton. He's had some flashes of brilliance, but nothing real sustained. So, you know, take a chance. He might have a great year. Oh, this is a slow part of the draft, fellas. And Thomas Jr. from Jacksonville. Why not? What's he Hey, trying to check out some numbers. He's expected to have some receptions. I don't know. You know, you take a chance on a rookie wide receiver. You never know which one's going to be, like, freaking amazing. You just can't tell. You just can't tell. But Houston's defense, all right. Taking a late defense, I get it. I get it. Baltimore is going to burn me a few weeks. They're going to actually win me the week. You know, they're going to have so many points in 1 week, it's going to win it for me. It just happens with Baltimore. But, okay, so there goes Fairbairn right after that. It's always interesting when a team takes the defense and kicker. There went Freiermuth and Chandler, and that puts me on Evan McPherson. And then with the final pick of this draft, I'll take D'Onta Foreman. And this team then ends up looking nothing like my other team, just like I was hoping to have happen. They don't look the same at all. Too much consistency across your teams, and you're gonna hurt your teams, fellas. Try some different draft strategies, but maintain the idea that you gotta get elite for each position on this. Every time you can get an elite player, whether it's a running back, a wide receiver, a quarterback, tight end, if you're getting elite at the position, I'm talking top 5, then you have made the right call. And I have what should be, let's see, Jackson and Hill, Laporta, and Baltimore. I have 4 elite. Baltimore will be a top 5 defense most likely, right? Lamar Jackson will be a top 5 quarterback. Tyreek Hill will be a top 5 wide receiver. And Sam Laporta will be a top 5, actually a top 2 tight end. So, yeah. And genuinely, Hill will be one of the top 2 wide receivers, right? Baltimore could be one of the top 2 defenses. Probably will be. Lamar Jackson, he could be the top quarterback. So, because, seriously, Josh Allen, I like Josh Allen. I had him on some teams last year. I just don't think anyone can repeat at quarterback 15 touchdowns. I just don't think so. So I think there will be some regression there. And I think that makes room for someone else to move up maybe into that number 1 spot. And Lamar Jackson fits the mold of someone who could do that. But, Derrick Henry is going to be taking away some of Lamar Jackson's running numbers, isn't he? There'll be a lot more designed run plays for Derrick Henry. All right, Donta Foreman. Boom, did it. And there's the team. Here in a second, we'll go ahead and look at it overall. Yeah, this is pretty great. Let's take a look at teams. We'll look at mine. And we'll compare it to the first draft. All right, here we had Brock Purdy, CeeDee Lamb, Dallas and McPherson. Okay. Could Brock Purdy be a top 5 quarterback? Maybe. CeeDee Lamb's a top 5 wide receiver. Devonta Adams is okay, high WR2, low WR1. Derrick Henry, RB1, low end of the RB1s, maybe the middle. Joe Mixon, same way, so a couple of RB1s, and Njoku is not going to be elite, but he's pretty good. He's pretty darn good. So is James Cook. Okay, so we'll look at that starting lineup compared to this starting lineup. Jackson, Hill, Evans, Montgomery, Stevenson, Laporta, and Keenan Allen. Literally nothing is the same across those starting lineups, except kicker. Kicker is the only thing that remains the same with Evan McPherson. On the bench, it's Smith, McLaurin. See, because where I took some earlier running backs, I was taking some wide receiver 2s and 3s just because I kind of have to. And I filled in with a Rico Dowdle and Jerome Ford later on. Jared Goff is the backup again. Got him twice. But here I've got Jaden Reed. Do I have Jaden Reed here? No. Wish I had him. I think highly of Jaden Reed this year. Jaylen Warren, hoping for some production there. Let's see what happens. Javonte Williams, same thing. You're the guy, prove it. J.K. Dobbins, okay, taking a chance. Donta Foreman, okay, we're taking a chance. So, over here with Ford and Dowdle, Ford's a better chance than Dowdle, but, he was taken earlier than I would normally take him. But, overall, I think this is 2 great teams here. Let me see if I can bring this team up under the same format. Open in a new tab and see if is my team up? No, they don't have it listed in here yet. All right, well, anyways, fellas, honestly, I like this draft. I like this draft. I like this draft more than I liked my other draft. I'll bet if I click on standings right here, it puts me in the top 3. Okay, they put me at 4. This guy took 3 quarterbacks. Whatever. But yeah, this puts me in the top 4. I really like this team, guys. I really do. So, all right. Well, that was my second $50 draft here in 2024. I think it turned out really well. I appreciate you tuning in, and well, we'll have some more content coming for you real soon, fellas. Thanks for tuning in.